Hi, my name is Ricky Galang. I'm the CEO of Radical Philippines. Today's event, it's a private event. We invited several test drivers. They're going to try the Radical in BRC, see what kind of times they can set, and generally just have fun with the cars.
My name is Enrique Hormilio. I'm the Marketing Director for Radical Cars Philippines. We had an experience here doing the 4-hour endurance race, and I found that the cars are much more at home here due to the cambered corners and the layout of the circuit that it just flows. So we figured we'd just have a year opening event, invite all of our clients and maybe some new ones to just come out and try the cars. The Radicals that we're driving today are the Radical SR1, and this is a non-street legal purpose-built racing car. What that means is that these cars are designed and built only for the track and to deliver maximum performance on track all the time and reliably. You'd look at the Radical as your entry level into an international form of motorsport. It's a global platform raced in 36 different countries around the world. As such, it's also built to a very high standard. The entire car has FIA safety, and it's FIA safety compliant, which basically means that you can comfortably explore the upper limits of the car, knowing full well that you'll be safe in it no matter what happens.
Today they're going to be testing the Radicals, see how it performs in the various corners. Due to its weight, it's very light, but it can take the corners very fast. You only need to brake lightly, the car is always settled. So hopefully today that the Radical is able to demonstrate all that.
I'm Marlon Stockinger, and today we're at the track, as you can hear it, and I drove the Radical SR1, which was a whole lot of fun. It was my first time in a racing car in 3 years, and it honestly put like a huge smile on my face. Had a lot of fun. The car was actually really amazing to drive, super easy, very comfortable. I mean, it is a proper racing car, of course. It does quite high speeds. But considering the fact that you're at high speed, it was quite comfortable to drive. Like the high speed cornering felt safe. It wasn't, even if you're pushing it on the edge, you could kind of control the car with understeer. So instead of having like a snappy rear end, it was actually more comfortable in the sense that you could control it with your inputs with the throttle and the steering. So everything felt in control with the car. And it just felt really nice, like all around, super balanced. And it was just like pretty much a joy to ride the whole like 5-lap stint I did. And that's considering I haven't touched a racing car in like 3 years. So to me, like just remembering the last time I was in a racing car, like this feeling was just as good. So it was pretty amazing.
Your arm was still in the sling.
So yeah, just coming into turn 1. I mean, the tricky part with this car really is on the brakes. So it's pretty much dancing on the entry, but it's very friendly, like mid to exit, you could really smash the power down. Pretty smooth going up into the third corner. And then going down here, it's quite nice going in as well. You can really feel the aero on the car working, very stable. And on the exit, instead of expecting, as you come through the compression, oversteer, it was actually nicely balanced. And again, into the hairpin, car dances a bit, but nothing crazy because you have this camber onto the entry. It really helps the car. And Brian's was really a surprise to me. So every lap, I was just building more and more speed. Most likely, I could have even been 1 gear higher, knowing that obviously the car has a lot of aero to work with. And it was just nicely balanced. I mean, you can see my inputs on the steering wheel. My hands are jerking a bit, but that's more to do with the bumps of the track here in BRC. But here again, camber falling away slightly in the double right in Casino. And the car is just nicely balanced, nicely on power. The car doesn't twitch at all, really friendly. And here even for the chicane, braking a bit. The car does twitch a little, but you expect that with this because we're turning and braking at the same time. But the car was pretty smooth. And second to last corner in the Radical, quite high speed. The grass is pretty close on the exit. But I just felt really comfortable, you know, pushing the limits, especially in the high speed with this car. Coming to the last corner here, Again, very smooth. Obviously, I could still find more limits with the car. It's the first time I've driven a racing car in how long? And it was just a really enjoyable ride. So I really had a great time in the car. And it was just, you know, very easy to build up the speed and find the lap time and chip away lap after lap. And I think that's the nicest thing is you're able to, you know, build up to a high speed without really feeling like you're in any danger. Especially on a track like BRC. I mean, it's a fantastic track, but the walls get pretty close in some parts, but the car is really well balanced. Immediately I knew I didn't have quite a twitchy car. It was always more on the safe side, and the car was talking to me and I could feel like, okay, it's still safe, and I could just easily build up the speed. I'm sure at some point, of course, when you reach a certain limit, like with any racing car, you're bound to, you know, find that moment where like, okay, this is too much. But I'd say like the margin, the base margin this car gives you is quite wide, and it takes quite a lot to really find that and really push it over the edge. So that's why I feel like it's such a safe, nice car to drive in a sense, because for me it's such a nice, easy car to drive, but gives you that feeling of like I'm in a really fast car as well, because you're doing really crazy lap times here. So it's been super fun.
Hi, I'm Jeff Tan, and I'm the friend of the people who runs Radical, and I was invited to try the SR1. First few laps, my impression was the car is a bit heavy, but when it was running, it was okay. It's very light actually, and it grips really well. Yeah, after a few laps, I tried to push it harder, and actually the car can take it. It's actually me who's not fit enough to push it even harder. So main straight, is trying to brake later, but not forcefully, so smoother brakes. Turn in, it's a sharp turn in, then full throttle. Yeah, just full throttle before the turn. Then I take R-bend wide, not like yung iba. Take it wide and then go to the apex. Light throttle lang, and then full throttle after. And then, yeah, shift fourth gear, and then second gear on this turn. Full throttle on the apex. And then here, paakyat ng Bryans, I usually brake before turning. And then light throttle lang. Hindi ko pa kaya mag full throttle. Maybe the next time. Yeah, exiting full throttle. Minimal steering inputs and very sharp turn-in. Medyo tough lang on the steering, mabigat. And here also mabigat. You can feel it because lumalaban yung steering, gusto mag-straight yung steering wheel. Here's yung bus stop, very slow corner. Ito full throttle, but ang the sweeper is kailangan full throttle, but hindi ko pa kaya, mahina pa loob ko. Maybe next time I try it. Then last turn, third gear, full throttle on the apex. So good, yun na. That's it. What I really like is the turn in. The turn in is really sharp. You can. I thought the speed will just understeer the car, but the car can take it.
I'm Richard D. Actually, I'm friends with Ricky Galang, and he invited me to test. This one feels like no other car. It's really fast. The car is really light. Feels like a race car talaga. Ibang klase na. Ibang level na to.
So Tonya let me pass because he was doing a cool down. So we're going to the R-bend. Can you see him behind? There's nowhere behind. And then, yeah, I'm going to Brian's. Third gear, fourth gear. Go back to third gear. Turn in. I go out. And another radical suddenly appears. So I spin out.
Even when we hit each other, so I had to let off the accelerator. When I spinned, it was like a slow spin, so it wasn't scary. It was pretty safe, felt safe.
I'm Ivan Karapiat, and it's been 13 years. 13 years since I've crossed the straight or was in a proper race car. The Radical, I rode the Radical today. I came to Batangas. It's a great race car. I felt really safe. The revs were there at 10,000. It felt really fast. The grip was there. The brakes. Basically, it's a proper race car. Keeping it safe at 8,000. Approaching the 180 kilometer mark. I decide to brake after the arc. Oh, nice braking. Oh, enter the apex like a champion. Accelerate like a champion out. Look at that. Third up to fourth. This is our bend. This is my favorite corner of all Batangas ever since. I downshift 2 clicks right before I enter. And there's like one little dip here where you come in and gas it. There you go. Go at fourth. I locked up here many times. So I took this at second Yamaha. Oh, you saw how that champion saved that, motherfuckers! Oh, champions, no, motherfuckers! Okay. So fourth, I tried this at third because I'm unsure. Yeah, fourth dapat, but in the next lap I go up to fourth. But now I keep it at third first. Oh no, actually I went up to fourth already. Everything here is scary, this part. This is scary too. You're going fucking blasting down here at like 180, 200. Go down to second, hit one apex, go out, hit the other apex, power out, keep the third. I decide to take this at third, the last chicane. So not in this lap, the next lap. I have more confidence in the last corner. In the second to the last corner, I'm already going like 5th gear, keeping it safe. And then now I hit this hard at third. Boom, then flat out already here. Yeah, there you go. That's the bracket. I haven't driven a race car for 13 years, and I drove today. And I was kind of pushing it. I would not push it on the long straights because that's when shit can happen. But through the short turns and the straights, I'd push it. And I tried to brake late. And like in any race car, if you try to go over the limit, it's gonna bite you back. And it did. But I was lucky. I only lost it in the first corner.
Would you spun?
Yeah, there. When? There, kanina. Silently lang. Nobody knows. I'm sorry to say, even I probably hit the wall with that thing, I'll feel safe because the car feels solid. The cages are high up here and it's so stable, and they're braking, it was stable. I'm actually speechless. We should have done this interview later. Like, it's still processing me now.
The day's almost done. Some of the drivers have gone home. The day went really well. Everybody had fun. I believe the car was able to demonstrate to the drivers that it's easy to drive. It's easy to get to 90%. Getting the last 10% will show, we'll separate the men from the boys, but as even at 90%, it's going to be faster than any car you own around the track. We checked with the drivers one by one. The response was always the same. They had so much fun driving the car. It was very easy to drive. It's very safe. You don't need to brake late. All you have to do is keep the car settled, and you can corner as fast as you can, faster than any car. The downforce is the game changer. The thing with downforce is the faster you go, the more grip you have. You just have to wrap your head around that, and you can go so much faster.
The car is very friendly actually. What I like about it is it adjusts to the driver. If you want to push it hard, it goes hard as hell.
Actually, for beginners, it's a very good platform. It's very easy because the car is very forgiving. The brakes are very easy to modulate. Acceleration's really quick. Lap per lap, you're getting more confident with the car. Actually, you could get best times compared to normal regular vehicles with this one easily.
The one thing I've always hear is that the car is very balanced and it handles exactly the way you'd expect it to handle. It's very neutral. It has a little bit of understeer bias. When you're driving it, you'll find that the limit is quite high and it's very difficult to exceed the limit.
My biggest takeaway is now I know why they are called radical cars, because they are radical.
The important thing is we all had fun. It was really a good experience with these cars. I never driven something like this.
It's a new experience for me because I'm not used to driving these kinds of cars. So I like it actually. I probably look forward to doing it again next time.
I have never even set foot inside a race car before, so it's my first time. There's a lot that goes into it, like with the fireproof outfits and the helmets. It kind of makes me overthink, like, damn, we're gonna catch on fire or something. But once we're all strapped in, I felt pretty safe. So the whole time we were going really fast. I was pretty much screaming the whole time. After I got past that initial freaked out stage, I was just like enjoying it and being like, this is awesome. So much respect, actually, for race car drivers. I mean, not only is it physically, I can see it's physically exhausting. Even for me as a passenger, I was getting exhausted, like just trying to keep it together. But I have a lot of respect for them, and I think, it takes a lot of focus to like that.
I drove a real race car, meaning a real aerodynamic, fast, grips to the floor, makes your hair stand up kind of car. Thank you, Radical. I'm happy.
I'll be thinking about maybe trying to go back into a racing seat after today. I think it sparked a bug back in me. It's like I never left racing, honestly, and that feeling I got just driving this car. So if that can remind me of all of that, that's just fantastic. I was just smiling. I was happy to be out of breath. I was happy to, be feeling the limits of a car, because it really allows you to do that. So for me, this is the perfect car, and it was really enjoyable to drive today.
We'd like to invite anyone who's very interested in motorsports, if you're looking to further your driver development, to try and drive the Radical SR1. It is currently the quickest racing car in the country, and it's also the safest.
If you want to get serious with your driving, with your racing, you owe it to yourself to get yourself in the Radical. Test it. Radical is the fastest racing series in the Philippines. It's the only car company that gives you a whole racing ladder from the starter cars all the way to the GT3. Radical also runs race series all over the world. After the first season with Radical, we're going to open all the racing tracks in every country for you. You want to drive in the best tracks in the world, we can set that up for you. With Radical, you can do all that. The dream really is to get a Filipino racing driver, start him in the SR1, grow him up the ranks through the Radical Racing Series globally, the Radical Racing Ladder, and see them race regionally and then internationally in the best tracks in the world.